I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your dumpster fire for the week of January 12th to January 18th.
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.
World burns.
It appears little old dumpster fire is too dangerous for the public consumption, so we need you to touch my bells and buttons and subscribe, even if we're not showing up in your subscriber list, which apparently we weren't. You're going to have to find us and go check and watch and tell your friends and spread it, because we must feed the algorithm. The algorithm must be fed.
We must feed the algorithm.
It's like a little demon. We must feed the algorithm.
Troll in chief.
Right.
Donald trolls Bernie. I don't even know if he was trolling Bernie. He was trolling for Bernie. Trump tweeted,
Yeah, that's true.
They are rigging the election again against Bernie Sanders, just like last time, only even more obviously. They're bringing him out of so important Iowa in order that, as a senator, he sit through the impeachment hoax trial. Crazy Nancy thereby gives the strong edge to sleepy Joe Biden, and Bernie is shut out again. Very unfair, but that's the way the Democrats play the game. Anyway, it's lots of fun to watch.
I love him. He's just such a troll. He knows that he's going to sow divisiveness with this. Bernie responded to it. He was like, the only person who's actually, I don't know, he said something in response trying to unite the Democratic Party. But he's just so, with all of his little nicknames. And I love how he's basically the human equivalent of like the eating popcorn gif, where he's like, and anyways, it makes a great show because I'm going to win. No one can beat me.
It's just, he's one of those things where I would never really think of him as a mastermind of anything, but he's seems to be a mastermind at trolling people on Twitter.
I really want it to be Bernie. I'm like, rip the Band-Aid off. Let's do this. Capitalism v. Socialism. Dun, dun, dun. The match of the century. Woo. And then all of us can, that's really what it's coming down to. Just figure out who's in what camp in America. Divide up the teams. All the losers are on the dodgeball socialism team. All the kids that they got picked last.
The ones with asthma.
And as Carol Roth says, socialism is for people who like group projects.
Which is not you.
I fucking hated group projects.
I know. You always like to work independently.
Well, also, you always end up doing most of the work. People who like group projects
never did
the work. Yeah. They're like, I'll be all for that group project.
Mm-hmm.
Group projects were for socialists. Carol Roth, that's her. Go look her up at Carol Roth or Carol J. Roth or something.
Well, Trump doesn't have to try very hard to sow division in the ranks of Democrats because they're doing it to each other.
It's a circular firing squad. Elizabeth and Bernie were already fighting after last week's debate because there was a dump of some information that Bernie said that a woman couldn't be president, which is bull. We all know women can be president. And then they brought it up at the debate and they straight up asked Bernie if he said that, and he said no. And then afterwards, Bernie went to shake her hand and she wouldn't. And she said, do you call me a liar on national TV? And he's like, I think you called me a liar.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion, we'll have that discussion. You called me. You told me. All right, let's not do it now.
And then CNN is so snaky and shady. They love this crap. They had all the audio and they dumped it the day after. I mean, it's so disgusting. Politics is so disgusting, and the media wants a division too. They love this. Ugh, burn it all down. Burn it all down.
Yeah, we're in one of those moods today. All right.
Burn it all down. I hate the system. I'm with Michael Malice.
All right, moving on to canceled.
I was drinking.
I know. Moving on to canceled.
Canceled! We have a crap load of cancels this week. It was like we had to cut some canceled this week.
Too many people got canceled.
Too many canceled.
We had to cancel some canceled.
We did. We had to cancel some cancels.
Okay, a Christian school expels teen girl Kayla Alford wearing a rainbow sweater in front of a rainbow birthday cake, deeming it a lifestyle violation, quote unquote.
You are alive. This is a violation. You are smiling in front of a birthday cake. We are going to expel you.
Yeah.
This is bull.
This is bullshit. It was a weird story, and it was like it was a post on her mom's Facebook page. She was celebrating her birthday. She was out of school.
You're out of school. Like, you're in front of a birthday cake. Who gives? That's so ridiculous. Not like she was bullying some kid into, killing themselves or something. She was just like smiling. In front of a birthday cake.
Yeah. It was ridiculous.
That's insane. This is terrifying, though. This is the chilling, creeping totalitarianism that I say is coming from all sides. And everyone's always like, no, it's actually coming from the left. Or they're like, actually, it's coming from the right. No, it's coming from everywhere. And citizens are policing each other. Just go on Nextdoor, my favorite place to troll people. And you'll see, they'll be like, whose nanny is this? You're not going to believe it. And people are starting to post clickbait about their neighbors on Nextdoor. It's insane.
What?
I love it. It's hilarious, but also terrifying.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. Stop ratting each other out. You're all a bunch of whiny little narcs. That went in a place I didn't know.
Yep. That was
and
a
leave the
different
poor
place.
kids alone when they're on Facebook off of school.
I know. She was just wearing a little sweater that had a rainbow on it.
I don't want to wait.
Our favorite Sarah McLachlan song.
We must leave the children out of this. Let them celebrate their birthdays in peace.
And then there was the transgender writer forced to retract trans-themed science fiction story. The title of her story, I Sexually Identify as an Attack Helicopter, alludes to a meme typically used to delegitimize transgender people. But the tale is anything but anti-trans. It's a surreal, mind-bending war story that turns the meme on its head. But a small number of militantly unhappy people attacked the story for offending them, and their harassment was so unpleasant that the author asked that it be unpublished.
Again, circular firing squads, you're never woke enough. And so the very people, and this is what we've said before here on Dumpster Fire, the very people that this whole idea of cancel culture claims to help ends up hurting marginalized groups the most.
Yep.
And it's ridiculous because then I don't get to read this, what sounds like an awesome science fiction story.
I know.
And it's all about me.
Someone's always going to be offended.
That's the point.
The editor was like, we're sorry because we didn't check it enough because obviously people were still offended. There was still something wrong with the story. People are always going to be offended.
I was offended by Catcher in the Rye, and I wasn't burning the book in the middle of class because I didn't like it. That freaking story was ridiculous bull.
I hated The Catcher in the Rye.
I hated it too. Why? Why did we hate it?
I hated Holden Caulfield. He was such a whiny,
He's so unlikable.
Egotistical.
He was like a millennial, pre-millennial.
I know, he really was.
Was he a boarding school?
Yes,
Yeah. I couldn't identify with him at all.
I was in a boarding school and I still hated it.
This is insidious. It's creepy. It's Orwellian. You can't burn a book if the book never gets published. And I just want everyone to download these videos and put them on discs and blast them into space so that the aliens know what happened to our society when it all collapses. They're going to be like, what happened? This was like a seemingly free and open society. Oh, well, people started policing each other because they couldn't fucking handle it and their feelings got hurt and society collapsed.
Seriously.
That's
society
literally
collapsed because feelings were getting
Yeah,
hurt.
that's why society's going to collapse because people can't handle being offended. Like, they're so fragile. And you know what? We deserve to collapse if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't even handle getting your feelings hurt by a freaking short story that's not even real.
Moving on to the Oscars. So white.
Again. Basically, once again, everybody was outraged because the director category particularly was all white, primarily all white men.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was all white men, though, because I think the director
Bong
of
Joon-ho.
Parasite.
Bong Joon-ho. Korean.
Yeah, but not good enough. Men. Yeah. It was all men.
Congratulations to those men.
What cracks me up always is that it's people who just look at the list, haven't seen any of the movies, and they just get outraged at the list.
I haven't seen
I haven't seen a single one of these and or any of the ones that weren't nominated, but I'm outraged just by looking at this list. The one woman who made a movie
about women. Little women.
It's really quite poetic. The little women are not seen amongst the big men.
I can get behind this outrage.
I just think too, though, when are you happy? So then, do we have to make categories?
quotas.
Yeah, quotas where it's like we need one woman, we need one person of color, and 2 white men, and what?
Right, and then that's
And
not getting nominated on its
somebody
merit.
who's disabled. Is that allowed to say anymore?
I don't
Are we allowed to say that?
Differently abled.
ADA compatible.
We need an asthmatic, a poor, a fat, and an old.
to round this category out.
This one.
Where
was
are the
shot
olds,
on a
huh?
flip
Where's
phone.
the outrage?
The olds are
Scorsese's
the
old.
Irishman. That's
And
that
can we
movie's
talk
full
about
of
how
olds.
the Irishman shouldn't have been nominated for anything?
Please tell me about it.
Did you watch
I
it?
didn't see it.
All I remember is Robert De Niro did a lot of driving.
I was one of 1,000 working stiffs. Russell, he took a shine to me right away.
And murdering people.
After a while, he started giving me little things to do.
So not
So
Taxi
sounds like
Driver.
Goodfellas or any
Like
of the other
every
million
movie,
movies.
it was like
Yeah.
12 hours long. By the time I was done watching it, I was in perimenopause.
So then there was the whole, we're still in canceled.
Still in canceled. Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn faces liberal outrage after he was seen with Trump during national championship game, except it wasn't liberal outrage. It was Siraj Hashmi, a reporter for the Washington Examiner, sarcastically tweeted, "Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you Vince Vaughn is canceled."
This is the greatest example of how Twitter is not representative, but it's influential. So the average person would not have any idea about this story at all. They would have seen Siraj's tweet saying, "I regret to inform you Vince Vaughn has been canceled." And inadvertently, this is actually a story of how Siraj was canceled because he inadvertently was used by Fox. He's a conservative. So he's a conservative writer. And all of us on Twitter kind of know where everybody, the camps we all fall in the Twitter wars. And everybody, it was hilarious that day because he was going after the reporter who misreported that he had said that seriously, because then his mentions on Instagram blew up with all these like MAGA supporters who were like, "Go back to where you came from." And I'm like, yeah, go back to where you came from, Siraj, Hartford, Connecticut. Then the press picked it up on Fox. So most normies, like our the dads, the boomers, they would have just seen that tweet and been like, "Yeah, those stupid libs, they're going after Vince Vaughn for shaking the president's hand." I don't know why I'm using that accent. It could be any accent. And it's really just a conservative writer. So
Making a joke.
Making a joke. This is a Phetasy. Reality is parody. People, real life journalists don't even know what's sarcasm. Take that sarcasm and turn it into a whole freaking news cycle of just trying to confirm their own bias.
The liberal cancel culture found a new target last night. Actor Vince Vaughn. One person tweeting, "Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you Vince Vaughn is canceled."
And then you, on the ground on Twitter or wherever, you see the whole interplay of all the journalists making fun of Siraj for being like canceled. Like, "We regret to inform you, Siraj, you've been canceled by Fox News." It was hilarious. It so perfectly represents the dysfunction in our media and how everyone will just find what confirms their bias and be like, "There it is. There's the proof." Touch my bells and buttons. Subscribe, please. I'm a fembot now.
Living in a South Park. ISIS leader dubbed Jabba the Jihadi captured in Iraq.
First of all, what took them so long to catch him? If this is the extent of our counterterrorism operations, I'm deeply worried about our country's safety.
He was immobile.
They had to take him out on a flatbed. This guy is a threat to national security. And if that's the ISIS terrorist, like, I'm not too worried about terrorism either. Maybe that's why our counterterrorism took so long.
Deaf man sues Pornhub for lack of closed captions.
Oh my gosh, I love this story so much. Is he from America?
Probably.
Must be from America.
Yeah, of course, only an American would sue Pornhub.
Yeah, we live in the most litigious country in the world.
The titles of the videos that you
They were
wanted
the
to
best.
watch were hilarious.
That's what he was like, Exhibit A in my lawsuit.
Hot step-aunt babysits disobedient nephew. And sexy cop gets witness to talk.
I too cannot enjoy my porn unless I know the intricate psychological tricks that one uses to lure the pizza man inside the door. I must know the dialogue.
Like, can you slice this pizza into 12 slices?
Oh, it's a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Oh, it's so cheesy.
Yeah, Sam. There has to be like a gotcha moment when you find out that, oh my God, that kid who's way too old to have a babysitter is actually his step-aunt. I never would have been able to get off to this porn if I hadn't known these things.
He needs to hear the crack cop getting the confession.
The sexy cop. She's like, I'll show you my boobs if you tell me if you did it or not.
We know you did it. I just need you to confess.
And then she
We can do this
undoes
the
her
right
legs.
way. We can do this the right way or the hard and long way.
I can be good cop or bad cop. The choice is yours.
Would you like these handcuffs?
Maybe we're in the wrong industry.
Good cop or naughty cop? Which one do you want?
I'm starting to think that we're in the wrong industry, ladies. Yeah, maybe we should start a little offshoot.
Moving on to Sprained My Eyes. Cardi B floats Congress bid. I deadass have so much ideas.
I thought she was going to Nigeria.
Right? Make up your mind. Are you part of the system or against it?
I hope she's against it. Now I want her to move to Nigeria. Get out of here. We don't need you in Congress. Can you imagine Cardi B in Congress?
She would probably get elected is the sad thing.
Of course she would get elected. That's where we live now. Or she'll probably be president in like 2028.
Oh,
that's when I'm moving to Nigeria.
And then conservative group slams Burger King over commercial using the D word. What's the D word?
Damn.
They use the word dick?
Damn.
Damn?
Damn.
I was like, deplorable? Like, what would really offend the conservatives?
Tastes like dick.
Too cheesy.
The Impossible Whopper is going nationwide.
Damn, that's good.
I don't know. Those million moms, man, they get it done. It's like one Karen just emailing a million times.
They're all on a group text called "Can I speak to your manager?"
Yeah, every single one of them. Like, can I talk to the manager, please? It's ridiculous. Yeah. Damn. Oh, really? That's gonna offend your children? That you have your conservative president literally said I can just grab him by the and damn is the thing that's gonna traumatize your children. Like, calm down.
Yikes.
Calm down.
Proof we're living in a simulation. Japanese billionaire looking for love by opening applications to be his partner on SpaceX trip around the moon. Gets over 27,000 applicants.
How's your dating life going, Sam?
I might have a trip coming up.
I wish you did apply. The questions were so funny. It was one of the questions, I think one of the first questions on the thing was like, how good are you at cooking? I'm like, in space? Well, I can add water to packets.
To a pouch and stir. Yes. I'm very good at that.
Excellent cook. And also, you can touch my boobs. And I like the smell of Japanese billionaire farts.
Yes, because that was one of his questions too. How would they react if he passed wind?
I would be like, please fart some more Japanese. And one of the questions was how much of this is motivated by his money. Who's going to be like all of it? Other than the going to the moon part, which sounds
you're
pretty
taking me to
awesome.
space. So isn't that kind of about money? But
and of course they're turning it into a reality show because we live in a reality show now. That's just the world.
Yep.
Everybody's got to turn their life into a reality show. Check out our other videos about Phetasy headquarters.
And
we have a new series coming.
The reality show that is Bridget's life. Okay, and then, the creepiest creeptacular one ever. Scientists have created the world's first living self-healing robots using stem cells from frogs.
Has Jurassic Park taught you people nothing? We know what happens when you embed frog DNA into things.
Well, this is even worse because the machines are less than 1 millimeter wide and small enough to travel inside human bodies. They can walk and swim, survive for weeks without food, and work together in groups.
No,
They're
thank
neither
you.
a traditional robot nor a known species of animal. It's a new class of artifact, a living, programmable organism. These are the things that could take over our bodies and turn us into, they're like our puppet masters.
This is how you have armies of humans doing things that they don't know why they're doing them. You just unleash it in the water.
Their bodies no longer
And then
are
you
in their
drink
control.
it and it's like, must kill Maggie and Sam must kill myself.
I don't know how these scientists can live with themselves. What the hell are they doing?
Because they don't ask if they can. They should. They just want to know if they can.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Once again, Jurassic Park, our Bible for these kinds of things.
Michael Crichton was such a visionary.
Mm-hmm.
He knew we were going to self-destruct with science. Anyway, back to our more shallow content, but not shallow this week. The BDE Award goes to people taking their lives into their hands and marching in the streets. Not the people you would think, not Women's March in America, the Iranian protesters. Yes.
Yes.
چقدر دیگه ما خون بدیم چقدر دیگه بیایم چقدر دوستامون رو دست بدیم دخترها و پسرها دیگه اومدن ما هم والا خیلی چیزا واسه دست دادن داریم اومدیم ولی اومدیم حمایت کنیم.
They are risking their lives, and they get it this week. I should have given it to Hong Kong. I should have given it to Iraq, the Iraq protesters. I mean, there are protesters all over the world right now, literally fighting for their lives, fighting for the rights that we take for granted in this country, in America, and a lot of the other Western world countries. And we shouldn't, and we should be supportive of the people in these countries who are fighting against these oppressive regimes. And so my BDE award goes to you in the streets, anywhere in the world fighting against oppressive regimes, anywhere you're fighting for your freedom, particularly Iranian women, because they're really a huge part of this movement and they're out there risking everything. Because as you know, being a woman in some of these countries isn't exactly great circumstances all the time.
The best thing, too, was the Babylon Bee headline about this.
Oh, God, they're so good.
CNN reporter informs Iranian protesters they're supposed to be shouting, "Death to America."
There was an amazing video this week about a bunch of students, and they had the Israeli and the American flag on the ground. And it was the students were supposed to walk all over it to show their whatever. And it shows them all walking around it in defiance of trampling on top of it. I mean, it gives me chills. It's so amazing and inspiring that they're protesting like this. And it's also so chilling that there's such intense Trump derangement syndrome in the country that when we talked about this last week, he can somehow turn people into rooting for the baddies, really evil people, and not supporting people who are fighting against true totalitarianism. And so...
And terrorist regimes.
And we're with you in whatever way I can be, which is just signal boosting and supporting, and any other ways that you have in mind, leave in the comments. And we'll keep pushing for freedom everywhere.
And
Back to
then-
more ridiculous things.
Yeah, we have the freedom to record dumpster fire and be total jackasses about it.
Yes. The total freedom to be jackasses is all that my founders wanted.
Never woke enough. Hundreds of Extinction Rebellion protesters have buried their heads in the sand at Inverloch Beach, calling on the state and federal governments to declare a climate emergency.
I hope you cleaned up some garbage while you were there instead of just being annoying everywhere you go.
Seriously.
It's all just like performance art.
I know.
It's such...
Did you actually do anything worthwhile? Like pick up some f***ing garbage on the beach?
No, I'd guarantee they didn't. They probably left garbage behind.
Probably, actually.
There's
signs and litter detritus all over the place from their protests.
Touch my bells and buttons. Touch my bells.
Moving on to dumpster diving. The Trump ham sandwich.
That looks so gross.
Oh, it looks so
It went
gross.
viral. We're doing this because this was just a funny thing that went viral that caught my attention because the guy was like, if I have libs over, I'm going to serve them this. And it's like, what kind of weird self-own is that? So your big supreme leader that you revere looks like a sweaty ham sandwich.
I know, because it's an oddly accurate portrayal of what he looks
And like his lips are like this and then like meat and like somehow that, and then your lib friends eat that person. Like somehow that's like, you're like, oh yeah, you sure showed me. Well, I see
got
your ham
owned.
sandwich. And I raise you a Trump plunger.
toilet brush.
A toilet brush. When I am ruler, this will be my scepter. Okay.
Well, speaking of ham sandwiches, Paris Hilton has a cooking show now.
Paris Hilton's still alive?
Yes, and apparently she cooks.
As you all know, well, maybe not all of you know, the people who do know that I am an amazing cook.
God, I haven't heard about her in ages.
She apparently
Has she evolved at all, or is she still like, hey guys, what's going on? I'm gonna cook some stuff today.
Hey guys, welcome to Cooking with Paris.
I got my gloves and maybe my dog.
I actually brought these, so if I was going to cut onions, I'd wear them. Usually I do that when I cut onions.
Where's my dog? Like, I want to know how much Xanax that girl is on, because it is enough to kill a small horse or dog. Was this her clap back at Kim's fridge tour? Did she launch this because she saw the fridge tour and she was like trying to get ahead of whatever Kardashian product was coming out?
Oh, I like that theory.
You know, when I grew up with my mom and my mom was watching our servants cook, like I totally picked up a few tricks. Like that's so hot when you watch stoves cooking. It's hot.
That's hot.
Who's next?
Then
Who's next in the dumpster?
David Hogg has flag issues.
Well, he's got issues, all right, in general. But he tweeted a picture about how he had a new look, which hilariously everyone was saying someone said you look like a lesbian who owns a 40-year-old lesbian who owns a bookstore. That doesn't make any money, but everybody wants to keep it in business because they like your cat or something. But his flag was backwards.
I started dying laughing when I saw your tweet. I laughed for like 5 minutes.
Your flag is wrong, and then I intentionally spell your Y-O-U apostrophe R-E because people always do it wrong to us. And now everybody's like, you're a writer. You should know better about your grammar. And you're like, what are you, the flag police?
You're like, this joke has so many levels.
It's got so many levels. If you don't keep up with the Phetasy family and you're not in the inside jokes, the layers, you'll never know. There's so many layers to our inside jokes that you got to keep up.
Someone actually got it, though. Someone commented.
One person.
I was like, so far, am I one of the few that gets this? LOL.
So far,
Hilarious.
he's the only one that got it. Everyone else was like, are you the flag police?
Moving on to The Internet is Glorious. There's the Always Be Chips guy.
Another viral video. The Internet is Glorious is one of my favorite categories ever. But this guy, it was just a big brawl that occurred in a fast food
Like a
restaurant.
deli or
at a
something.
deli. I don't even know where it was. I don't think they were speaking English. There was one guy just sitting there eating his fries, chips, and didn't even move or so much as like...
He was just quietly observing it unfold on his phone.
I honestly feel like always be chips guy is me on Twitter. It's like the perfect representation of how I experience Twitter. It's
Right.
like everyone's brawling around me and I'm just eating chips.
And it's usually based off of something that you tweeted. It's a fight you instigated and then sat there eating your chips.
Okay, fair enough.
And then YouTube shares a video of cats licking a set of binaural ears. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
That's so gross.
It was really gross.
oh, it was really gross.
But it was really funny because I was watching it and Sam heard the sound and she's like, "What are you listening to?" And she's like, "What is that sound?" I'm like, cats licking ears. Or cats licking microphones.
But in the shape of ears. They were definitely shaped like
yeah,
ears.
which was weird. But that was the moment that I'm living in the greatest time mankind has ever known. That's something that I was spending time doing.
And someone took the time to make that video.
Someone took the time to make that video. YouTube was promoting it, and I am sitting there with with all of the freedom that a human could want and leisure time, apparently, watching cats lick microphones and just thinking it's hilarious and weird.
And now for Breaking Bridget. Transableism. Some people born in able bodies feel as if they were meant to have disabilities.
Tell us how you really feel, Bridget.
Oh, I really. Okay, yeah, no. Just stop with all of this nonsense. Stop with this nonsense, please, please. I identify as trans deceased. I am alive, but I am dead inside because of all of this nonsense. If I identify as trans deceased and I identify as dead, do I still have to pay taxes? I feel like I'm dead. Therefore, you must
Honor
acknowledge
my
that I am
feelings.
dead and honor my feelings, which means I no longer have to pay taxes. I no longer have to pay rent. This is just, where does it stop?
We're going to eventually hit the bottom of this hole, and it's not going to
Where's
be
the
pretty.
bottom? There is no bottom.
We'll see.
If you can identify as somebody who doesn't, if you feel like you're disabled and then cut off your leg because you're a crazy person because you felt like you were born to be disabled, and I mean, it's insanity.
Yeah.
Just stop, guys. Like, lack of gratitude. Have some freaking gratitude. You're crazy, Aunt Bridget. You're crazy.
I need you to help me cut off my leg.
Oh, God. Please help me apply this tourniquet correctly.
Could you squeeze it a little tighter?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Just like that.
Can you put some pressure on my nub? Okay. Time for us to get it done.
Good night.
Okay, in Phetasy news, Walk-In's welcome guest this week was Jessica Michelle Singleton.
Jessica Michelle Singleton, hilarious comedian, great interview. We got deep, we cried, we laughed, we shared a lot.
It was awesome.
Spectator.
Yes.
I'm in Spectator. Last month I was off because of the health stuff, but this month I'm back. And on the cover, my name is next to Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Crossed out and canceled. I was like, I am not worthy. If you want to see the mostly unedited version of this, subscribe on Phetasy.com. You can subscribe. The minimum's $5. You can subscribe whatever you can contribute to the Phetasy family. We will take it because we have so much content, and we have content only coming specifically for Phetasy.com. So join us there. It's a really cool community. You can all interact. It's a whole, you'll be in on the inside jokes.
It's a new platform launch
It's a new platform launch, and we'll be talking a lot more about that. But for now, just get in there because it's exciting.
Yes.
And in other news...
Oh, yes, Mr. David's already here.
He is?
Yes, right this way.
Check it out.
Check it out. We'd like to thank our patrons, our subscribers, our supporters, anybody who has donated anything to us, Zen Pro Audio for the mic. We would like to thank you, the viewer or listener, for sharing us with your friends and family. We love you. Comment, touch our bells and buttons. We'd like to thank Better Phetasy. We could not do this without your research every week. Also follow them on social media. My parody account, hilarious. Touch my bells and buttons. Lick my ear bells and buttons.
Oh, boy.
This has been your dumpster fire for the week of January 12th to January 18th. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich.